Hey, this is Ken Casey from the Dropkick Murphys, and I love the Grandstanders! Take it away, kid!
Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman, and I'm joined by my usual cohorts, Uncle Joe McLaughlin, and he's the Professor Russell Stevens, and he's JP's first son, Tim Howie. Well, we have another great show for you tonight, so boys, let's get it started. Breaking news from the Grandstanders Live desk. Does Todd still have that graphic?
The police car or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, those are great, right? So Josh Gordon, it's not clear whether Josh Gordon was put on the IR or cut, but Josh Gordon has played his last game with the New England Patriots.
It's unfortunate. We were all kind of rooting for the underdog, but I guess you can't. I don't think they can afford to carry him. That's what it comes down to.
Russ, we talked about before when they signed Antonio Brown, who would go first, Antonio Brown or Josh Gordon. Josh won the contest.
But it was a horse race.
Still didn't make it to half the year.
He didn't make it. He basically made it half the season. Right.
But let's get it clear. He's not being released for
that's nice.
For
that's
drug
exactly
or alcohol.
right.
No.
Maybe not. Who
Probably
knows?
not.
Well,
Doesn't
he seems to be flying straight these days.
No, I think
there's no indication.
No,
that that's
absolutely
the
not.
reason.
I think
it's a numbers game right now for him.
Right, but I think when they got Sanu, they figured they didn't need Gordon, and and they didn't know what was ahead with Gordon, so
I don't think he's produced like we had all anticipated him producing.
I think he's been injured though. He's been pretty
agree,
well.
Joe. I agree.
He hasn't had that same explosiveness
Yeah.
downfield, and which would suggest that he's injured. And I also agree with Tim. You don't get the money that you get from cutting Gordon. You don't get it if you cut Gunner. And if you cut Gunner, that means Edelman needs to return punts, and no one wants to see that.
No.
Unless you're in the playoffs.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly, yeah. It's keeping him healthy. That's the priority.
Yeah.
Edelman may be the most important person on this team.
I totally agree. Other than Brady, Edelman's the guy you can least afford to
he's
lose.
the binky.
And Hightower. Please.
How about Jamie Collins?
I think you can replace Hightower with this depth that they have on defense. Edelman is I think everything crumbles without Edelman.
Oh, yeah,
Red guy on defense.
Oh yeah, he
Third
loses
and
his
four.
binky.
Who's our guy?
Right.
No, that's a great point. Absolutely. But I would say it's October 29th, the trading deadline. Don't be surprised if we don't get another wide receiver. They'll still be in the market for another wide receiver.
Well, you'd have to trade someone like that was making money.
Michael Bennett?
They can work
I
it
think
out.
they need defensive
I
linemen
think it's
more.
more likely that it would be a tight end.
Possibly,
If
right?
you're going to
Yeah.
trade Bennett for an
I
offensive
agree.
player, you trade him for a tight end.
And not even a tight end that can block, catch passes. A tight end that can block.
That's right.
Yeah, and most likely be the NFC team.
Because now the Devlin's out. I mean,
Sonny Michel is useless without
a
blocking.
blocking tight end now is even more important now that Devlin's, Landon Roberts is our fullback now. I know you love that.
I like that. I like
Dan Copen.
So Belichick on the radio show on the way and said Roberts played fullback in high school. So he had a little training at fullback.
No, might as well, right? He's getting paid.
He's a captain.
He's a knucklehead.
Belichick said, "Hey, linebacker, fullback, kind of like the same guy."
Well, they've done it before.
Yeah.
Vrabel, Copen.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not a new thing.
Yeah.
260-pound guy putting his head down and smashing through the middle.
Even the left tackle there did the same thing.
Yeah, so, all right, the Sanu deal, which was going to be the headliner right now, forgetting the fact that we're 7-0, but the Sanu deal, we had talked about it with Michael Bennett for Sanu. Well, it ends up Sanu for a second-round pick.
High price.
It's not a high price. First
They
of all,
always
it's
blow
the
it
back end
anyway.
of the second round.
We were going to blow it on a cornerback that was going to
Well,
get cut
remember,
anyways, right?
you're throwing for us to throw a third-round pick up against another team's third-round pick, our third-round picks are 20 spots later.
Yeah,
So
I guess
right.
Atlanta.
to be the third rounder, you need to offer
And
a second
Atlanta
round.
had a ton of offers already for third-round guys for Sanu, and they said no to everybody. And I'd rather give a second than a third and a fourth.
That's right.
Is what
Which is what Sanders got.
Sanders got.
Right. Yeah. They traded him to.
And if Sanu plays this year or next year for the Pats and then goes free agency,
Yes.
they'll get a compensatory pick for him going
Yeah, and
free
Sanu
agency.
had an extra year
Won't
in his
be a
contract,
third,
where
but-
Sanders was a free agent after this year.
Look,
right?
it's Armageddon once Brady leaves, so do whatever you got to do.
And-
Don't worry about the pick.
I was
agree.
saying this to Joe earlier. It seems to me that they're going for it this year.
Absolutely,
They,
right?
they went after Brown. They went after Sanu, gave up a second-round pick. They're going to probably do something else as well. They're
Yeah.
moving guys in and out, trying to get to the roster that they
Yeah,
want.
they're trying to keep the roster at the same level.
That's
That
right.
In years past, they would have been next man up. It's not next man up. We're going out and getting another guy.
That's right.
Okay, so Pats fans, so you worry so much about the second round pick. In recent time, the immortal Jordan Richards, who's just been cut again,
Was a second round pick.
A second round pick. Cyrus Jones, second
Second
round
round
pick.
pick.
And again, these guys contributed
Duke
absolutely nothing. And then
Dawson.
Duke Dawson last year, who's already on the street, right? So.
Let's not
fine.
worry too much about it.
Yeah, don't worry
Yeah.
about it. Sanu's a quality player. We need him for this year to win a Super Bowl.
And we got
boys.
3 third-round picks.
Yeah,
Now,
right.
Sanu, though, hasn't been especially productive for the Falcons this year.
No, it's
Basically
33
fourth
receptions in 7 games. That's
not
very
bad.
good. Yeah, that's.
But not like, oh my
It's
goodness.
5
I mean,
receptions a game.
he's
Yeah.
fighting for with Julio Jones for
Yeah.
touches,
No,
too, though. And,
Yeah, remember what's that team? 1-6.
yeah.
He's fine. He's gonna be
Absolutely,
good.
and we're
He's gonna be
fine.
good.
We're 7-0.
Yeah.
Boys.
One of his attributes is he's a high IQ football player.
Yeah, we have
Well,
a
and he
veteran.
went to Rutgers. That
Oh,
way
wait,
Bill
wait,
likes
all
him.
right, we got to go to a break. More Patriots, of course. What else?
It's going to be a
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
The fact is that the Patriots game each week is the least most interesting thing that happens about the Patriots each week, right? It's everything off the field. Like Russ has said many times, it would be the best reality show of all time if you had a camera in Gillette Stadium 24/7.
It used to be the Red Sox. Now it's the Patriots. Right?
Michael Bennett.
You wonder if corporations would use that as a training model, on decision making, because their decisions usually come out pretty good.
But it's constant to me. I mean, there's
But it's
constant
the soap opera.
transactions every day. So you had Michael Bennett running his mouth today after being suspended. Not really giving the
today.
First day
Today.
back.
First day
Bennett was
back,
running his mouth today.
running his mouth, saying no
didn't
love
know that.
lost between me and the Patriots.
He wants to be.
He clearly wants out. I mean, this was not a guy who was
So
contrite.
he
in
said
any
something
way.
negative today?
Yeah,
Well, no. He was talking to Karen Gregian, and he said, "No." She asked him, "Do you want to leave Boston?" No. He says he likes playing with the Patriots. But he's saying too much right now. He's saying too much is what Scott is.
He's a Bennett brother. They talk a lot.
They knew what they were getting when they got
Belichick
him.
knows exactly what they were getting with the guy.
That's no
He
surprise.
did what he's done to a whole bunch of other players in their history.
Okay, a week from now, is Michael Bennett still on the team, Timmy?
I think. No, you go.
I think if he's serving, who knows what the game plan
Yes
will be
or
this
no?
week. I say yes.
No.
No, he's off the team.
Yes.
I think he gets cut.
Oh, I don't think.
Oh,
he's
he won't be
He'll
cut.
get traded.
I don't know, and there may not be a market for him.
Oh, there's a market for him.
You
my
think
gosh,
there is?
Oh,
For
yeah.
a
Oh, yeah.
for a contending team
Oh,
to get
yeah.
a guy
But
who can get to the
but
pass
you're not-
rusher.
But you're not going to give him to an AFC team.
Oh, I think Belichick will give him to whoever.
He'll
I
give
mean,
him to like Cleveland after we've
yeah,
played
of
Cleveland.
course. There's probably one AFC team he wouldn't give him to, and that's Kansas
Do
City.
you see him going to an AFC team and possibly biting us in the
Not
ass
in the
or in
division.
a
I
playoff
hadn't
game?
thought about this. I don't think he leaves. I really don't.
I don't
I
either.
think Belichick has plans for him.
He would have cut him a week ago instead of suspending him.
I think good defensive linemen are like a bar of gold. You don't let them go.
So do we have any expectations for N'Keal Harry? Apparently the Patriots do because they cut Josh Gordon today. That screams we think N'Keal Harry is ready, right, Joe?
I don't know. They were quick to put him on IR and put him on ice. They don't think he's ready yet, I think.
Russ, is he going to contribute all this season?
I think they'll have a very small set of plays that are ready for him. It could be fades in the end zone, deep cuts
he's
down
a big
the middle.
guy. He's
a big
6'3"?
guy. They don't have anyone that big. Now that they've cut Gordon, he's the biggest receiver they have on the team. So put a few plays in for him. See what you can get.
I think Gordon getting let go today absolutely leaves a big opening for N'Keal Harry.
A big wide receiver, too.
To
plays
be
that
part of
position.
this offense.
Look, Jacoby Myers, who we were talking off the air, undrafted free agent. The Patriots do pretty well with those guys. Feels like a second or third round pick. Caught everything on.
He's the new Danny
Monday night.
Amendola, I think. He'll fit in right there.
Yeah, but different player, right, Russ?
Oh yeah, but he's not an outside guy either.
Yeah, we have a lot of slot guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Like every year.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
What Tommy Curran, who's I guess a favorite here, was saying that they really would prefer Edelman to be on the outside, and which is why Sanu being able to play the slot as a bigger slot guy would also allow Edelman to move outside more as opposed to having to fill that slot
That's
role.
interesting, right?
Yeah.
Wow. And also probably keep him from getting injured
You know what
more,
impressed
right?
me about Myers?
Yeah.
He made some tough catches. Those
He
were
sure
not easy
did.
catches.
Brady wasn't helping him out in any
Catches.
way
I don't
in
know
those
if
last two
Amendola
games.
makes those catches, really.
Yeah, but he's
showed it
bigger
nice.
than Amendola. That's why I hesitate with the comparison.
But I
because
think he'll be that 10 to
position.
15 yard range rather than the 5 yard range of Edelman in the slot.
Look, the most important thing about Myers' rise the other night is that Brady trusted him to throw the ball to him 5 times, including a couple of third down plays.
Yeah.
That's a huge advancement for this team.
Do you feel like when Brady was kind of quietly ragging on the wide receiving core, it was about Jacoby Myers? But
He wasn't throwing to him when he was in, even
but he
though
was
he's
crazy.
catching everything.
I mean, what are the expectations for an undrafted free agent rookie?
This goes way back that Brady is slow to trust guys.
Yeah. The only guys I can ever remember him trusting right off the bat were Randy Moss and Jabbar Gaffney. The only two guys coming in.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
the Myers arc is starting to look a lot like Malcolm Mitchell's arc, right? Mitchell didn't do anything until mid-season, his rookie
Yeah,
year,
right.
and then mid-season on, he was showing more and more to Brady. Brady trusted him and became a big player.
Mitchell,
in the playoffs.
is Mitchell out of football now?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he can't
I'm trying
play.
to get him on the show, actually. Yeah, because he's out. Yeah.
Yeah, when he became the fourth option, when you start playing the good teams in the playoffs and everything, they take away
You
1,
need a
2,
fourth.
and 3. You need a fourth. That's when Mitchell came to the fore.
Yeah, we don't win a Super Bowl against the Falcons if it
Probably
wasn't for
not.
Mitchell.
Oh, no.
He played
Oh, he
really
played
well
great
in
in
that
that
game,
game,
right? All right, so Justin Bethel. I've never heard of him before, but apparently he's a top standout special teamer. Been in the league for 8-9 years with the Ravens. They cut him.
They pounced the Patriots pounced
why
on
did
him.
they
There
cut
was
him?
Harbaugh was just explaining this the other day. There's some weird, obscure rule that made it worth their while to cut him.
For
on-
compensation
For
pick.
salary.
For compensation.
Yeah.
For compensation
To get
pick.
a
Well, the
third rounder
Patriots
back.
snapped him
For
up
a
in a
fourth
second.
rounder or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, they would get a
exactly.
fourth, which is bizarre. I mean, they're a competitive
Well,
team for the Super Bowl.
And they got plenty of salary cap space. Their quarterback makes nothing.
There's one reason to like this guy more than any other is that it allowed them to cut Jordan Richards.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh wow! You absolutely what a
And he plays the
what
same
a
position.
week for me personally. Didn't
Wright
matter
in.
what happened the rest of my world. Not only was Stephen Wright cut, but Jordan Richards cut. Can we get Kelly Olynyk back and Daniel Nava
And have them cut the same day.
Cut them too.
Scott, you're going to have no one to have resentment against him.
Oh no, he'll find someone.
We'll find him.
He was working it up for Tomlinson, but he got cut too.
Yeah, right. Oh my God, that Eric Tomlinson, a retread from the Jets, may have been.
He looked
other
like
than
Jet
Jordan
stuff.
Richards, the worst player I've ever seen on the Patriots.
He was awful.
Awful. Every time he tried to throw a block, he'd whiff, and then Sony Michel would get planted. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
What's Sony doing the dance behind the line?
It was Sony Michel. Like, seriously, can you get this guy out of here? All right, when we come back from the break, it's more Patriots. We literally could talk Patriots the whole night.
For hours.
It appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool.
Oh, yeah.
Ah yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
He's done. He's done. He's finished. If Sam Darnell was a baseball Darnold was a baseball, you know what I was talking about, right?
Yes.
Okay, you didn't get confused. All right, so was a baseball player, a big prospect that came up and looked that bad and then got sent back to the mines.
He'd be sent back to Pawtucket. He'd be sent back to Portland.
No, but we'd be saying on the show his career's over. They sent.
I wouldn't.
I've never seen a guy more spooked out by a blitz.
The list of young quarterbacks that
No,
this
this was the single worst quarterback performance
Guys,
that I have ever seen, ever, and I'm including every game I've ever watched.
I agree.
Ever seen in my
The
life.
week before, he played great against Dallas.
AFC
He's liable
Player of
to
the
go
Week.
out- He'll liable to go out and throw 4 touchdown
Here's the thing,
passes.
here's the thing, and this might be his Achilles heel. The Cowboys did not blitz him once in the game, right? Do you remember Belichick destroyed Bledsoe? Belichick started blitzing Bledsoe when Belichick was coaching the Jets. Started blitzing Bledsoe, and then everyone discovered that was Bledsoe's Achilles heel. So you wonder now if Belichick.
I agree. Look, he's going to face
Bledsoe held on to the ball too long. That's why.
But he's going to face it more. He's going to face more blitzes than anyone in football.
I would be glad to have Sam Darnold be our backup quarterback in our next quarterback.
Instead of
on this team.
Jarrett Stidham.
No. I compared Stidham with Darnold. That I thought Darnold was good. I would rather have Stidham right now.
Mind.
That guy.
Yeah.
And first of all,
I'm with Russ on
Hey,
this.
listen,
all right, we're going to see.
He seems like a
He
decent
ain't no
enough.
Jimmy G. He ain't no Jimmy G.
Jimmy G's no Jimmy
I don't know
G.
Jimmy G's Jimmy G. You're
my
right.
God.
You know,
Look, I was on it.
Donald seems like a nice enough kid. Like, I don't want anyone's life to get destroyed over a football game. This guy went from like 3rd pick in the draft.
He's worried about his hair too much. I just want to make sure that. He does worry about his
I wish
hair.
I had some hair to worry
I know
about,
he's
but-
nice hair, but he worries about it
lost
way
your
too
mind.
much. But look,
he
all I could think about was the Pedro, the Yankees are
Let me
my
ask you-
daddy with the whole.
Let me ask you a question. You want to
have
have a bet may take 5 years?
That's
More
fine.
career touchdown passes, Jarrett Stidham or Sam Darnold?
No, that's not fair.
That's not fair.
Well, it's
How
not
about
fair
Jimmy
because
G and Sam Darnold?
Sam's back up to Tom Brady.
Jimmy G and
Jimmy
Sam
G and
Donald.
Sam
Oh
Darnold.
my God, absolutely.
All right, starting
Starting
now.
now. Starting right
Okay,
now.
all right.
5 years.
All right, let's
What
get
do we
Isaac.
do?
Let's get Isaac.
How much we
Let's
betting?
get Isaac to put that bet on
How
the
much we
board.
betting?
We'll talk about it
All right,
offline.
okay, all right. the audience needs to know.
Units.
I could talk about the Jets game forever, but all right, we got Patriots Browns. It's 13 point underdogs. The Browns are right now.
More than the
Joe.
Jets.
I heard 15, but let's see. You got to go with the ride the train. 33-3 again.
All right,
30-13.
and this is of course Patriots.
I'm going 33-10.
All right, 35-13. All right, go to the Celtics. It's opening night, and geez, it'd be more exciting if we were playing shirts and skins, and we were skins if Al Horford would take his shirt off and come over to the skins. That's the one thing that gets in my craw about all the the exits of players was not anyone else but losing Al Horford.
Yeah, what's really interesting, if you go back and look at the sequence of events, the tampering that Philly did was very damaging to the Celtics because they basically had gotten a commitment from Horford to sign before the Celtics were able to get Kemba Walker.
It was a quid pro quo.
You know, and they could have had Horford known that they were getting Walker. He may have considered staying.
Yeah, he has come out and said he might have looked at things differently if he knew Kemba Walker was coming.
So
I think Al wanted away from that dumpster fire
agree.
that was the Celtics locker room last year.
I agree.
He
I think
said,
that's
my life is too short to be living
Al
in this."
said it wasn't just Kyrie either.
Now, you
By
know,
the
how
way-
much of it was Marcus Morris, do you think, last year?
Well-
he seems like he was a little dumpster fire of his own going on.
My guess is
That's
that
who he is.
if Horford had a fear, he knew Kyrie was leaving. Horford was probably taking a look at like, I don't want to be on a team that Terry Rozier is the point guard of.
Yeah, right.
For the
Yeah.
next 3-4
Neither
years.
would I.
Right?
Yeah, you're not getting the
Well,
ball.
I think it was a communication issue too. Then Danny needed to articulate to Al immediately and his agent, just stand pat for a little bit and we'll
You
take
wonder
care
if Philly
of you.
though said, "Hey, take it or leave it." Like
Well, that's what
we
they
gotta
did.
know.
And then, yeah, right.
Yeah.
He took it.
And it was a good deal for him. It really was.
It certainly was.
Well, we're going to figure out if we're still in the Sixers' head, because you would agree that we're in the Sixers' head, right? Because you feel like they've had at times more talented teams, especially 2 years ago, but have not won. Well, if the Patriots the Celtics win tonight against the team that's just stacked in the Sixers at home.
Especially they'll just control the low post.
Yeah. The big question mark for me tonight is Hayward. Who are we getting? Who are we getting this year?
Yeah,
If we even get a neutral contribution from him, he was negative all last year.
I can't believe the professor convinced me to not call him Grandpa Gordon last year, and we were calling him like Cousin Grandpa.
Because he
Cousin
played well
Gordon.
for the last
couple
30
of
games.
good
I didn't
yeah,
see any
couple
good
of
games.
What? He played well. He played.
He played well
his
for like
stats
10,
got
15
better
games.
every single
Yeah,
month as they got through the
but
year, and then he had a crappy
He'd be
playoffs.
minus
He
10
has
instead
to
of
be,
minus
though.
13.
He has
That's
to
not
be
true. Take a look at
this
his
year
stats.
one of the best players on the floor when he's on the floor.
Absolutely. There's no excuses for
Yeah.
Grandpa
How many
Gordon
games
now.
are we going to give these guys to settle in? We're not going to start from game one as this is the finished product. I'm going to 10, 15 games to sort of see what we're looking at.
Agreed, but would you guys, Joe, would you agree that Grandpa Gordon gets the light shined upon him as far as how he's playing right away?
Right away.
Well, this is his third year.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm
Show up.
100% with you. There
No,
are
I
no
know,
more
right.
excuses
No, I
for
know.
I
Howard.
gave him a hall pass for
Oh,
last
you
year.
completely.
All
I know
last
I
year.
did.
I know I did. It was a tough injury, and I know I'm not allowed to say certain words when it comes to his injury.
Devastating. Devastating.
Gotta get some set.
Because
No, but like no hall passes over. The hall passes over, man. You're out there. You better be one of the top 3 or 4 players on the floor in every game, and I don't care who we're playing.
That's right.
highest paid player in the history of Boston sports. Yeah. Okay, look.
3 years running.
Let me
This
tell
is
you,
a
they're going to get on him if he doesn't do it this year.
This
That
is-
crowd will ride him.
Boys, this is a huge indication. We're a fan show. Timmy's a season ticket holder. The fans are not going to be giving him any breaks the way they have the last 2 years.
No, should they?
I mean, he's going to be hearing some booze
The grace
very
period
quickly.
is over. The grace period is over.
Even the green team is have had enough, I think.
Okay, when you talk about a soft cap in the NBA, which means at times you can pay these guys certain amounts, and it doesn't mean makes any difference as far as player movement in the future. You talk about one Jaylen Brown signing a 4-year deal for $150 million. Well, boys and girls, it ain't our money. I'm very happy they signed him.
I am too. It's not going to stop them from doing anything.
Right. Then that's the most important thing.
They still have another max slot
They
now.
still have another
You know,
match.
it's weird. I think he's more like a $24 million player.
Yeah, but what is it?
It doesn't matter to
It doesn't
me.
matter.
Well, Russ,
They'll
complete
just
your
you know
thought.
what they'll do? They'll just add a few more seats to my row at the game.
Right.
Like the
You
Bruins
know what
did.
I mean?
Look,
So my row at the Celtics had 10 seats in the row last year. This year it has 11
Now you have
seats in the row.
Jaylen Brown to root for.
No, I had to pay Jalen. They didn't put an extra seat in.
Yeah, look, the real downside is if he doesn't live up to the contract, it becomes an albatross.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And then it becomes a negative asset and you're paying somebody
No,
to
but
take
his
it.
game, I will say this, his game, I don't think he'll ever be terrible. Will he ever be a superstar?
Yeah,
is the
$29
question.
million a year.
That guy will always have a job in the NBA for the next 12
Well, we can-
years.
now
We're
we
gonna
can
go for
trade
a
him for
break.
Blake
Well, more
Griffin.
Celtics after this.
Yeah, his game.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason. Because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
It's at least, at a minimum.
Okay, in the next sentence after Jaylen Brown signed a 4-year deal, well, Jason Tatum is next, and that's after this season. And there's no question, Russ, Tatum's getting a max
He's getting
deal.
the first contract max. I don't think there's any question, unless he completely nosedives or gets injured.
But now, I might be wrong here, but if Kemba's got a max and Tatum gets a max,
And Hayward has a max.
Hayward's off, though.
Oh,
Hayward-
can they add? What can they add? And
Yeah,
Jalen's getting that.
Jalen doesn't have a max, remember?
Right.
So I got a question. Last year, if you took just their performance last year and you had to pick a guy to start a team with this year, would you take Tatum or Brown?
Yeah, great
Based
question.
on their
That's a great
performance
question.
last year.
I'd still take Tatum's down.
No. Based on their performance,
That's what I'm
year.
answering. But even with Tatum's down year last year, he was still
a better player,
better statistically, significantly than Brown was as a scorer, for sure. And his defense is underrated. Tatum's is.
Yeah, look, Jalen, for the $29 million a year, could you improve your dribbling, right, and your free throw shooting? There are certain parts of Jalen Brown's game that needs improvement. And Jason Tatum just needs to take it to another level.
Relative to expectations, which is kind of where you're going. We had higher expectations for Tatum than he proved last year.
Well, his freshman year, he was incredible.
He was incredible.
Because Kobe Bryant screwed him up.
Disappointed last year. But if you take a look at stat for stat, Tatum was a much...
Tatum still has to
learn. And now I think the new Williams can help out. Jalen Brown doesn't have to do that dirty work as much.
So I hope Tatum over the summer figured out how to not get rejected 9 out of every 10 times he takes the ball to the hole.
Yeah.
Well, he said he's not going to take many mid-range jump shots, so you're going to see him, a lot more 3-point shots and go into the basket.
He's got to learn to take that ball off his hip when he's going to the basket.
What are you guys most interested in seeing? For me, it's the rookies. It's really seeing the Grant Williams, the Carson Edwards, the Trey Waters.
Will we ever see a Romeo Langford, though? That guy just doesn't play.
That's a red shirt year for him. Absolutely. They don't even mention him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've lowered expectations for the first round pick.
For sure.
Can Carson Edwards be the next, the guy from Golden State there?
Curry,
can he be?
There's no way.
You can't shoot. He's similar. Curry's the greatest shooter of all time.
Curry is one of the greatest shooters of all
time.
But he also is an incredible ball handler, and Edwards does not handle the ball anywhere.
But are we talking about Edwards to be like a premier 3-point shooter?
Yeah, I think Edwards. You're looking at people call him Eddie House. I actually think his ceiling is probably our Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
We'll take that in a heartbeat, right?
He's a guy, as we saw in that one exhibition game, who's capable of scoring 20 points in one quarter. He's able to take over a game. Now, is that going to happen in the second quarter? Or we hope with Isaiah, of course, it happened a lot in the fourth quarter.
Sometimes these superstars come out of relative obscurity.
Right, Tim.
You know what I mean?
I just don't think
Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker.
Kawhi Leonard wasn't a top
how
pick.
He shoots, where he shoots from, the confidence that he shoots with. And he might have an enormous upside.
It's a hell of a pick, and there's a lot of GMs out there who made a big mistake not taking him.
Are very nice, are interesting too, and Williams and Edwards. And
Trey Waters.
Trey Waters
I
is
have
really
a tingling feeling like in 4 or 5 years, this guy's going to own this town for some reason.
Okay, Edwards. Well, thankfully, we signed him to a 4-year deal at like $10 million.
Oh, yeah, he's a bargain.
Yeah, so they were smart. They clearly saw something quick. And
you look at the stuff he did in college in the playoffs, and it was like spectacular. You go, oh my God, if he can ever bring that here.
So you're looking at the rookies. What are you looking for?
Can they integrate themselves into the team? Now, that's going to be at least a 20-game
All right, so that's what you find the most interesting thing, is the rookies still, too.
Yeah.
Gordon Hayward. Who's it going to be?
Yeah, so
that's my giant question.
Yeah.
For me, it's what happens with the center rotation, right?
Is there a center?
Who is playing the 5 down the stretch in a close game for the last 5 minutes of a close game?
Who can stop the pick and roll?
Well, I think it's going to be Robert Williams, because I think it's just going to be a defensive thing.
I'm going to say Poirier.
Well, either that or
right wing.
Look, there's 2 or 3 teams in the East that you can't do this with, but you may see them go with their 5 best players down the stretch in some of these games and just say to Tatum and Smart and Brown as just somehow stop their big guy. From
but someone's got a rebound, Russ.
Yeah, but they've got they've got some decent
Tatum's 6'8",
right. Tatum's closer to 6'10".
And Brown can jump out of the building.
Yeah, Smart.
Yeah,
you say, look, ideally, you'd like to have your best 5 players at the end of a close game.
Well, I don't know, but you're putting your 5 best offensive players.
Cantor hasn't stopped.
You do need defensive stops too.
If he stops a pick and roll, it'll be the first one he's ever stopped. So they'll just expose him on the pick.
Well, that's why I think Poirier might be the answer.
You can't do it against Milwaukee, and you can't do it against Philly. But there's a bunch of teams in the East that don't have guys who would overwhelm those 5 players on the
No,
court.
it's a great point. I agree with you, Russ. I think that, the last
In the
minute
East
of
is
the
the
game, most likely, then, there's not going to be a center on the court.
Yeah.
Well, it also might depend, are we ahead or are we behind on how we look
Yeah,
at it? Are we
but
looking
close
for
game down the
defensive things?
stretch,
Can't do, I mean, we might need his points if we
You're
need
right.
points, you know what I mean?
Well, how fun would it be to see when we need a defensive stop to have Robert Williams and Taco on the court at the same time.
Just stand there with their arms
You know
up.
what I mean? They're going to be trying these combinations, boys. This is what early in the
And
season.
he can be on the
No,
team now and not
Taco's-
count against the
No,
45.
Taco's out with a concussion for a bit.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he's going to.
How
I
does
think
he
you see
get hit in
Taco.
the head? He's too tall to get hit in the head.
He probably bumped his head on the
Someone
Oh,
had a
my
jump
God.
up and
What's
stand
his
on the
name?
ladder.
on the backboard.
I love seeing some of the pictures he's in, like with really short people. It's just staggering.
Everybody's
I know.
really short.
No, but I mean,
with
like when he's with there's one with the smaller woman. She must be 4'10", and she just looks like she's up to his knees. You know?
All right, what I'm also looking forward to seeing is, and of course, nobody in Boston picked Grant Williams to be drafted by the Celtics, but me.
Yes.
I just want to mention it. Were you going to give me seriously?
You did pick that.
I
That
gotta
wasn't
say,
the
I
only
gotta give you
person
that
in
one.
Boston. It
Yeah,
wasn't the
only person
But
I
didn't
know.
he have 20 people on that list?
We have to have a little thing every time Scotty toots his horn.
All right,
You know,
but
semi-
fun would be Grant Williams and Marcus Smart on the court. That's what I was dreaming about before the
How
draft.
tall is Grant Williams?
About 6'8"
Yeah.
on a good day.
no.
Bill
You
Russell
think-
and
I think
Carter.
he's like 6'5" or 6'6".
Oh, is that right? But it's
Yeah.
going to be like a Charles Barkley, 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to say 6'8".
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. And that's what they're saying about Carson Edwards. That
6'1".
no, he's not even
That's
close to
what they
6'1".
say.
But
That's what
didn't
they say.
Grant Williams set the record for like strength at the
He
combine?
did. Yeah,
Really?
top
You know-
5 like in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
All right, so boys, win total prediction. Joe.
Oh, the Celtics
Yeah.
total wins. I'm gonna make them a 50-win team because I think that East stinks.
One game more than they won last year.
Yes.
All right, Russ.
Their over under is 49.5. I'm
Oh,
gonna
is
go.
it?
I'm gonna go 49.
Is that
I
right?
think they're 40. I think it's a 49.
The same,
team.
identical.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, I forgot. What seed do they end up?
Well, give them 4. They get a home advantage.
So they were 4 last year, right?
Third.
Third.
I'll go
Right.
fourth.
And how many
I'll go,
wins?
46 wins.
46 wins. All right, the answer is 44-38.
Wow, you hate this
and
team.
what
I
seed?
don't-
is-
Why do you hate them? Why do you hate the Celtics?
I don't know,
resentment.
but no, I don't hate
Another
this.
It's the
reason.
Kelly
No, I
Olynyk
found it very
residue.
interesting. But I would look in truth serum. I would say that the Celtics are either going to be a 50-win team or a 35-win team. I think it could go south. I think you guys are.
I think that's.
I
right
think
on the
you-
mark.
I think you guys are minimizing the defensive liabilities.
deficiencies,
Yeah.
You called for Enes Kanter to be on this team for the
I
last
did.
5 years, and
Oh,
they got
yeah.
him, and you still
The
hate
trade
them.
deadline. Remember the trade deadline?
But
Was screaming
with Al
for him.
Horford.
hate
With
the
Al
Celtics.
Horford. No,
Last year, I think we all had them winning 100 last year. At
but
this same
with-
show last week.
But with Al Horford, Enes Kanter would have been a perfect compliment,
But it
right?
shows you how little we know. Toronto won the freaking championship. Like the NBA is just it's just been totally rejuggled this year.
Rejuggles
I mean,
every year,
everything
that's
is
right.
just like,
Timmy's
it's like
right.
throw it out there and see what happens. I think there's going to be a lot of surprises this year.
Well,
It's
you
nice
know-
to see the Clippers the kings of LA
Well,
right
Timmy,
now.
you make a great point. Look, we're going to go as far as Tatum and Brown are going to take us, and we really, you see what
And Hayward.
But no, forget him.
Well, no, let's see.
You
Let's
see,
see
you
who
see
he
with
is.
Leonard. You see with Leonard what one guy can do. He can win. Well, look with 2 guys, maybe you can.
Hey, if Hayward's an all-star again, they win 55.
I think he is the big key here. We kind of know what we
And
have.
they hit 35 if he's as negative as he was last year.
Yeah. If he's a flop man, if he's the guy he was last year, it could be 35.
All right. Well, this was a great show tonight, boys. We could have gone seriously for an hour.
We're going to
but-
bump this to an hour.
Yeah, right. I want to thank the boys. Want to thank everyone behind the scenes. Of course, handsome Todd, Radley, and
Radley.
our new intern,
Isaac.
So
Isaac, welcome
the
aboard,
intern.
Isaac.
Yeah, there
Isaac,
you go.
the
Welcome
Islanders
aboard.
fan.
William
Yeah.
who?
The island.
Yeah. Oh wow! Already, William. We may need him someday. So don't say it. Please check us out on our website at thegrandstanders.com and tune in on Friday night at 9:00 on Dirty Water Friday Night Live for the Grandstanders live from the greatest bar in Boston, Massachusetts. My name is Scott Kerman. I'm your host. Have a great and happy night.
The elephants are in town.
Here comes the circus.